whole weird future. Welcome to week 3 of Weird Futures podcast, where we talk about the weekly editions of comics that come out. Here we have our three hosts total, 2 other hosts, my friend Cube.
Hello everyone, how do you do?
And our good friend Matt K.
Hello.
And today we'll be discussing this week's comics, starting off with the Flintstones. Cube, take it from here, my friend.
I will, gladly. So, the new Flintstones comic, which has Russell's Pugh, I think, and Chuckery working on it. It has taken, we're starting to work backwards this week. We're starting with Hanna-Barbera sort of comics and working our way to the DC and Marvel stuff. So, with this comic, it's actually, I know you didn't really get a chance, but Matt got in a few panels, and I think we come to terms that the Flintstones may be taking this year in comics. I think the Flintstones have got some real strength this year.
It's kind of funny considering this is all coming from a cartoon from the 60s.
Yeah,
but they're making it deep. They're making it good.
There's a lot of satirical stuff in there, a lot of meta jokes and references in on itself that are just amazing. So the newest chapter, for anyone who's actually gotten a chance to pick up a copy, is all about how marriage is introduced into the Stone Age and how people got a problem with marriage because they think that they shouldn't limit themselves to one person.
Oh no.
So it's all about how Fred and Wilma go on a marriage retreat and are dealing with that, and Fred gets deep. Fred gets real introspective in this comic.
Yeah, why don't we talk about the big scene, the big comic panel that kind of everybody's talking about right now, the Adam and Steve right now.
Yeah. So with in the middle of the comic, we were introduced into 2 characters standing in front of a bar called Homo Erectus. And they're called Adam and Steve. And
I'm pretty erect right now.
Oh god. So Adam and Steve, for the layman, is a joke that is supposed to be a reference on Adam and Eve instead of Adam and Steve. And why not Adam and Eve? You get it? So they make that joke in the comic. But the thing is, since this comic deals with marriage, it's all about a big portion of it is how everybody else is dealing with it. And there's a marriage counselor who's really invested in seeing them all believe in what marriage is. And then Adam and Steve show up and they're like, we want to get married. And the marriage counselor's like, no. So it's all about, so it gets into some modern day topics with the Flintstones, which is really funny. But
what do you guys think about marriage?
What I think about marriage, that's not for the podcast to know.
Darn.
So,
but your life is a comic book.
If you're asking me, I'm ready to. I don't believe in monogamy. I believe the Flintstone era, where I have 7 wives and they all love me equally, and I treat them all like crap. That's my idea of marriage.
Oh, beautiful.
We can only ask for the small things.
Only 7 women at the same time.
Yeah. So I personally really enjoyed this comic, and every issue in this run has been so funny. So I recommend. Moving on from that, what was the other one that I had mentioned? It was Flintstones, and then it was Future Quest, the other Hanna-Barbera one they're working on. So a lot of the people listening to this, and probably a lot of the readers that have been reading Future Quest, have no idea or little to none, unless they watched it growing up, about any of the characters in Future Quest, because it's Space Ghost, it's Mytor, it's all these characters. It's all these characters we haven't seen in plus 20 years. At this point, 30 years almost.
Where's Johnny Quest, dude?
He's in it too.
Yes.
He's one of the main characters.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm keeping up with it, but I know that much.
Yeah, he is. So they're basically Hawkman. They're all getting introduced.
It's good.
So
Hawkman's in it?
Yeah.
Or is it a different? Is it Space Ghost, or is it actually Hawkman?
Both. It's both.
And what's the overall theme of this comic?
Yeah,
they're just going on adventures?
Sort of. They're all teaming up to fight big bads, but we're only basically, I think the first few issues have been kind of trying to connect all of them together. All the people are meeting all the different characters. So Johnny Quest met Hawkman, but he met him when he wasn't already dressed. He was in his, he was in his secret identity or whatever. So it's we meet him then, and then we see him become. They've done some interesting stuff, but actually in the new one, Mytor gets because I guess the name of Mytor isn't a isn't a person, it's a title, and it's the title of whoever is like worthy of carrying the club he has, kind of like Thor.
Yeah.
So
wait, refresh my memory. Who is Mytor?
he's like the caveman. He's like the caveman that has a cape and a hood like Space Ghost.
What show was he in? What show was he in? Do you know?
I could have swore it was just called Mytor, but let me just look it up to be sure. Mytor. Yeah, it was just called the Mytor cartoon. Moby Dick and Mighty Mytor. There you go.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So it's an old cartoon, but like so, he has like a cowl and everything, like Space Ghost, so you can't see his eyes. But what ends up happening is in the new one, there's a kid there that's hanging out with Johnny Quest, or he just also happens to be in the area. I forget exactly what happens, but we find out that basically it's a title because a kid picks up the club and becomes Mytor, and he's a little black kid, obviously. So now we got a new cool black Mytor. And what's funny is what's up?
Diversity.
Yeah. So what's actually really funny is that in the back of that panel where we see the kid become Mytor, is that there was another cartoon in this era about a kid and a caveman, and the caveman protects the kid. I forget what it's called, but basically what ends up happening is the caveman sees the little kid become Mytor, and the caveman recognizes him because he was from that era. He knows who Mytor was. So it's actually really funny to see how they're like rapping, like everybody's actually getting a little bit, or and they're doing it well. It's not. I wouldn't rate it harshly. So do you guys want to jump to Marvel or DC from here? Because those two were my big ones in the side branch.
Yes.
Let's keep on DC because we're already on DC anyway because of the Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Okay.
So want to start? What we usually do is start from the week and kind of work ourselves up. Or
sure. I think.
I don't know. What did you think was weak this week, guys?
I would say Cyborg.
It was kind of a pretty.
Cyborg was slow.
It was slow and generic.
Yeah, it was just him fighting Kilgore.
Yeah,
that's all it was. Him fighting Kilgore. Kilgore being like, robots are better than people.
Yeah, okay. Let me just expand on why I was particularly disgusted with this week's Cyborg. It's because it was so generic, and Kilgore was like, I'm the ultimate being.
Apex.
I am a machine, and machines are at a higher thinking level than humans, and it's funny how he kept referring to Cyborg as his brother.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like thrashing and beating the living hell out of him, and I don't know what. And then while he's like, my brother, he's like taunting him and insulting him at the same time. Like that's.
It's like, what are you trying to get at? Like, what?
He was just.
So from what it sounds like, he's like a dime store Ultron.
Yeah. He's like a T1. He's like the TX or whatever from the Terminator movies. He's like Cyberdyne or Skynet. He's just like, oh, robots are better. Let's make the world robots. It's like that's all it is.
But he talks like a.
Yeah, it's been overdone.
Yeah, it's not anything new, and the only thing that I think is interesting in that sense is that I like that he's insulting Cyborg's human side. It's like you're only weak because of that human side. Like your robot side, 10 out of 10, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But your human side is you got to get rid of that. Like I'm gonna kick your ass to make you better. That's what I'm doing. Basically, is what Kilgore's mindset is going in.
But I felt the delivery was weak because, like, while he was insulting him, he kept referring to himself like, I'm better because I'm a machine, and he kept referring to that. That was just lame. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I think the next kind of weak one was the Green Lanterns because it was just like the Halloween one. They were like, oh, Halloween, haha.
Is that the one where they're looking for the Guardian with the Phantom Ring?
Yep. He's just like, he's somewhere in the neighborhood, and he's got the ring.
And the Dominators made an appearance, correct? Those aliens?
Yeah, the Dominators show up for...
You know, what's kind of interesting, on a small, like, little diversion from this, is that this year I heard that the CW, all those terrible, terrible DC comic shows, they're actually doing a crossover, and the Dominators are going to be a villain, so I think maybe they kind of just threw them in there like, oh,
they're going to show up.
Still around.
Yeah. They were probably just like, oh, they're going to be in the TV show, might as well put them in the comic.
Yeah.
I got to admit.
It's been a slice of life with this Green Lanterns.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first few issues were interesting. All the family stuff is just boring me. Only because Saz and Jessica Cruz are like, my sister, my brother.
I mean, there's better slice of life DC comics, honestly. Like Superman, I feel like it's been doing a good job with the slice of life.
Yeah, this week of Superman was actually pretty good.
Yeah. But I got to admit, the cover to the Green Lantern comic kind of scares me. Like, if you take a look, it has it has them in the background doing their Green Lantern thing, but these kids' smiles, and there's like these kids on the front dressed as like superheroes, and all their smiles are horrifying.
What bothers me the most is Batman's not wearing the mascara.
He's not wearing the stuff.
He's not wearing the mascara around his eyes.
Oh yeah, that Wonder Woman has like black gums.
Yeah. So it freaks me out just a little bit, but
I'm kind of wondering, is it supposed to be creepy like that, or is it just
maybe that's the idea? Yeah. I don't know if you saw the preview cover for the next one, but it looks like someone's got the Phantom Ring.
Whoa!
What a surprise!
And by the looks of it, it's going to be a human.
It's a human,
man. Another human building another ring. So
yeah,
go humanity.
Okay, so I think next on the scale is Shade, the Changing Girl. Young Animals.
Nope.
Issue number 1.
Yeah, this is the second Young Animal comic by Gerard Way.
Yep. After Doom Patrol, which personally I thought Doom Patrol was pretty good. It dealt with some funny universe stuff, the Gyroverse.
It started off weird, and I kind of like that. That's how Doom Patrol's kind of supposed to start off.
Yeah.
This Shade the Changing Girl, interesting because they're kind of pulling from Peter Mulligan's run on Shade the Changing Man, where you have like the planet meta, and you have the Madness cloak, and you're dealing with madness again. So I kind of see that they're pulling some of that. She references Rack Shade,
the new Shade, which is really. I thought that was cool. I thought that's a nice little touch.
So I mean, overall, I kind of like how it's not. She's a different kind of alien. Like she's almost a avian kind of creature.
Yeah. That was the big point that I mentioned earlier to you off podcast that I wanted to mention again right now, is that's probably my favorite part about this, is that sure in the old Shade comics we see all the craziness just leaking into like wherever Shade is, like we're just seeing the world go all to hell. But what I really like is we're getting a lot of jumps from Earth to the planet where this character is from, like the original planet. Yeah. And her host was like a giant, like just an asshole. In her previous life, or before she entered the coma. So we're starting to see that, this host that she's taken over might have some enemies just in the form of common students. And that's an interesting kind of thing. It's a little. I don't know. It reminds me of last week's Raven, where we're just here's a simple problem for a complicated character, and the thing is, we don't even know this new Shade that well. We don't know much about her besides the fact that she's basically a man bird in her regular body, so we don't know how she's going to react to such nondescript situations, as in dealing with high school, dealing with girls, dealing with boys.
Wow.
So
it's I'm kind of that's what I was kind of hoping for more bizarre problems for Shade.
Yeah.
Because in the original run, or the Peter Mulligan run, he dealt with some weird shit, like who killed JFK.
Yeah, I love that. That cover, all that art, all the original art, just like it's some of my favorite runs. All the covers to the old Shade just blow me away. New cover is whatever. I mean, it's got the jacket on it, and I think that's the point.
I just want, if they are going to be kind of like going back, taking things from that run, I kind of want it to be weird. I want it to be a little weirder than just high school problems.
Yeah, I want it to be weird, like the JFK thing. I want to see like the next level sort of problems where we're seeing because this is insanity we're dealing with. We're not dealing with regular high school problems. If this girl is going to be walking through a high school, I want to see some sick stuff flying out of people's heads because they can't hold it in because she's there. Like I want
them to deal with some like real depression. Real like crazy.
Yeah, like.
But at the same time, this is a new protagonist. She's not like Shade. Shade was a poet. Well, she's just kind of like
a person.
I really like Shade. I'm gonna steal his cloak and I'm gonna go to Earth.
Yeah. Like Shade had like him being there. He had, I don't know. Yeah, but she's just there just to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think after that,
There's
a couple of others. We still got Justice League. We got Superman, and we got Batman and Nightwing, and then we have. I think that's it.
Dude,
I think that's it for
Quick.
Midnighter and Apollo. Midnighter and Apollo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Aquaman.
And Aquaman. Okay, so let's do Justice League next.
Justice League.
Yeah.
I think that's next on the list from worst to good, or from bad to good.
Yeah. So new Justice League, we're just introduced into a scene of our characters running, and I got to admit that first panel of Batman's face, like where he's like so scared. It's like it just makes me like
just kick.
It gives me like you can't like you see that face. You're just like okay. But yeah, it's just.
I'm actually getting that panel right now.
Yeah. We're looking at it. Yeah. And even Wonder Woman's, it's hilarious. Her eyes like shrink.
Yeah, but they're doing.
Whoa.
So I guess my problem with this Justice League and the reason we're rating it so low at the moment isn't because the action's bad or the art is bad. I enjoy the art, I enjoy the action. It's the fact that we don't have a common enemy we're seeing them fight. We're just jumping around to bad guys that we have no idea where they're from or what they're about. We're just seeing the Justice League. I think they're trying to give depth to the new Justice League because now they got 2 new Green Lanterns. Cyborg's playing, is doing his thing.
Superman, you got
New Superman. So I think the whole thing is that they're trying to make it a point to say, "Oh, new Justice League. Let's give you all a little backstory on everyone." But
my problem with it is one, they never really resolved the last arc. We have no clue what was even going on still at this point, and now we're thrown into a new arc where we have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but at the same time, there's only the mystery can only go on for so long until we actually have to ask, what is actually going on. And I can understand if I think Brian Hitch is writing this comic, if he wants to do an overall, after 12 issues, it all comes together. But the thing is, Justice League is a main DC book, it has all the big DC characters, and right now it's just going from issue to issue. We don't know what's going on. It's going to kind of decrease sales, and it's kind of losing the interest of the reader, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that what they're trying to do is just establish characters or establish relationships between one another. But I think the problem is that every single one of these characters that we're seeing you establish a personality for, they already have their own comic. They already have their own issues, their own stories that they're running. So you telling it to me again isn't doing you any favors. And that's the same exact problem I had with Suicide Squid. That it was, thank you for telling me Deadshot's and Harley's story at least 4 or 5 times, because that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to watch when I walk into a theater. That's the same problem I had with this comic.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is establish, like you said, team relationships. And I'm looking at this one panel. It's where Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern, is getting rid of all the weird fear tentacles. Yeah. And they're all the Justice League is holding hands, or in Wonder Woman's case, she's holding the Flash's thigh. And they're together, they're eliminating the fear. And I'm thinking in my head, when has the Green Lantern ring ever really worked like that? Holding hands really makes it more powerful.
Yeah, and God, there's so many different interpretations and so many different comics. I'm sure somewhere down the line or somewhere before it's happened, but what we're saying is now it's never happened in this time where we know it's not physically happened, or else they would have mentioned it. So it's I guess it just works. Because I could have swore right now, I just read a comic from the 80s or the 90s where Guy Gardner is fighting Superman, and Superman crushes his hand, and then since Superman has a stronger will than Guy Gardner, he gets the ring. So I don't think that's the way it works, exactly. So
is it Superboy Prime that does that? That one?
I don't even remember, dude. I'm not sure which super it was. Yeah, but you know what we mean. Just that, if it didn't work before, and if it did work before, you'd think we would at least get a reference to it, but I guess not. So whatever.
Well, what's interesting right now is, so far, I think they're trying to establish a new kind of romantic relationship between the Flash and Green Lantern Jessica Cruz.
Right.
Yeah.
But what was that? What was the whole panic attack she had?
I think what they're trying to do is.
She suffers from anxiety.
Yeah, she does. She does. But I think what's happened is that the last thing they fought has like infected them. Like, do you remember the comic where Despero and who is that guy with the mask but no head? I always forget his name. And Matt, you've told it to me before. He has like a red mask and he wears a red suit, but he has no face. The red mask is just floating. I'm not gonna remember. I'm not gonna remember. But basically, he goes to the Rock of Eternity and releases the 7 deadly sins, and then 7 heroes become the 7 deadly sins. And I think that's what's happening now, is that they're each imbuing like an emotion, and I think she's getting fear, and Superman's getting rage.
That's a good theory. That's a good theory. Honestly.
Yeah, because at the end of it, Superman's like, I'm gonna kill him.
I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, so I think that's what's gonna start happening.
That's what gets me curious. Like, what do you guys think the other Justice League's sins are going to be?
Batman's going to be loneliness. It's going to be loneliness. It's going to be like he's not going to want to see anyone because he's too afraid to like disappoint them or something.
Yeah.
Well, we got pride, envy, greed, anger, sloth, gluttony, and lust.
Yeah.
I think
assuming
Batman's
we're going off those. Okay. So I don't even know what Jessica's would be.
Batman might be Barry's, because remember at the
He's
diner.
hungry. No, but he's always hungry like that.
Yeah,
but that would make sense
Who
too.
knows? Who knows?
Yet again, yeah.
maybe like a greed.
Yeah, greed.
He wants to take down all the villains himself.
Because wasn't it when no, that's gluttony.
Gluttony when he wants to eat.
Yeah, gluttony when he wants to eat, and then because he's just like, oh, whatever, gluttony. Yeah. And then you got Jessica, who's fear.
I can picture Cyborg being envy.
Envy.
Jealous over the fact that he doesn't have a body.
That's true. That's true. Something like that.
And then Batman's his loneliness. You said
something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Batman could be pride. Like he could.
What was he when he was on the? What was he when he became one of the 7? I forget. He was
fear.
Was he fear? Yeah, he was fear.
In
he
New
was
52.
Fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Power Girl was lust, which is
yeah.
Come on, come on.
I didn't see
Who are
that
you
coming.
fooling? Who are you fooling?
I didn't see that coming.
Exactly. So. Like little things like that, but I think that's where it's heading, in that sort of direction where they each are going to embody, like, maybe their greatest fear. Maybe Superman's afraid of getting angry, so he becomes that anger. Maybe Jessica's afraid of becoming like too scared, so she's becoming scared. Maybe Barry's afraid of getting fat, so he starts eating.
What? Oh, here we go. I actually just found the image of the 7 deadly sins, the original one with all the DC heroes.
Yeah.
And Batman was anger, and then Captain Marvel was gluttony, and you just see like a full Captain Marvel.
Yeah. We're looking at it now too.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I'm curious to see what they're.
Maybe not the 7 deadly sins, but maybe they just embody their worst fear. Because that would make sense. Because if they just start becoming the people they're most afraid of, then like maybe that'll wrap it around to the Psycho Pirate thing.
That makes sense in Superman's case, because he's afraid of I have all this power, but I can easily rule this planet. I can easily just give into my anger and just take over.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But we see him paranoid at the end, like, oh, Batman, you don't need his approval. I don't need him to like
maybe
what
that's
I do.
The rage. Yeah.
So,
we don't know. We see some of them running around, and some of them we don't see. But maybe that's where that's going. Maybe not.
It would be the best thing to see Batman with lust, like twiddling his nips and
oh god,
oh Superman.
Okay, so let's go Batman, and then we'll do Nightwing, because those two are pretty much layered right on top of each other. So
which number Batman was it?
This was 8. 8.
Batman 8.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that I'm not liking this new story or these new monsters that are a thing, and I like that the regular people in the town are getting infected by the monsters and becoming monsters themselves. Mm-hmm. It's Gotham's always been kind of against Batman in the sense that there's always been a lot of trouble in the city for Gotham.
Yeah.
But now everything is actively against Batman. The people are against him, the monsters are against him, and not of their own volition, so that there's another thing he has to account for, which is all a nice little...
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. Continue. I was done.
My problem with this arc is it's kind of suffering from the same thing Justice League is suffering for. I mean, the art's fantastic. I mean, this story, it's a good story, but the thing is, we still don't know what's going on. I mean, we know who the characters are. We know Hugo Strange and Psycho Pirate have a place to play in this story, but the thing is, we haven't really figured out how exactly these monster men came to be, what their point is for attacking Gotham with these monster men. And the thing is, I think we're on the 6th issue in this crossover now, and we still haven't gotten any monsters.
No, we're just.
It's kind of dragging up.
That's not entirely true because we're seeing like in this new is this Nightwing, right? We're seeing some. We're not getting a whole backstory. They keep trying to like, Doctor Strange was working with these patients before they died, and then Psycho Pirate's doctor was kind of involved in these things. We're not getting a whole backstory. We're just seeing that these people are definitely involved. They're definitely behind it. And we just don't know why.
That's the thing. It's like there has to be a point where they kind of just donate an issue to a backstory. Like, okay, this is the plot. This is the plot.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm sure they're just saving it.
A little bit more, a little breadcrumb each issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, like, I'm not having too much of a problem with the contents besides that fact. Like, I like that. Everybody's working together to save this. I like how involved everyone is. Gotham Girl, fucking spoiler, like, you know what I mean?
I'm enjoying that they're actually, these are all kind of running fluidly. Like, you have the Detective Comics team, you have Nightwing, you have Batman. Everybody's they're working together, and all the writers on this event are kind of just making it one big story that involves all these characters.
So do you read Nightwing, right, Matt? So you saw the end of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw this part with Strange and
he's dressing up
as Batman.
He's getting to fight Batman. Yeah.
He's dressing up as Batman. So I think, like, yet again we don't have any concrete evidence of what the plot is, but I think we're about to get another Incredibles plot where super nobody will be. So I think something.
Explain this.
Okay, so all the I think Strange is like making these monsters so he has something to fight. Cuz he's so inspired by Batman or whatever. He's so in the back game he's like if I'm going to truly be Batman, I need some real monsters. I'm not going to just go out and fight the Penguin cuz the Penguin's some crazy midget. I'm going to go out and fight some real monsters, and if it takes me making those monsters to fight them, so be it.
And
whatever.
And perhaps he wants to gain the fame and love of people, the admirers of Batman. He might have this like Batman love complex where like I want to be better and this and that. And I mean, we see him like training and doing like the whole weight training.
Yeah.
But he's also manipulative in the fact that he's deterring the patients and stuff like that.
My name's not Strange!
The Incredibles theory makes sense because, he technically created him. He could probably put him down himself with like a special, something or other.
Maybe a trigger word.
And then who looks good? Him. It's like that.
Yeah. The thing is, my question is, how would people know it's him, or would he just keep masquerading as Batman? That's
and the thing is, he can't unless if he shaves his
his face because he's got the beard.
His butt chops.
Yeah,
his mutton chops.
But I think that's just my assumption for the plot's going.
Yeah, but from what in the issues we the last issue I honestly forget which one it was, but we see Nightwing and Gotham Girl get infected. They turn into monsters. That's kind of small plot is resolved.
Yeah. It's not even like anything.
He has a code name already, right? I forget what it is.
Who?
Because he's coming out in costume now. The new guy in the yellow costume.
Oh, he does, but they haven't given him a name. I thought it was just Luke.
I thought they released it, and it's just it hasn't been seen a lot, so no one's really remembering it.
Oh, maybe I didn't catch it.
It's Lark.
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 I'm larking around the corner.
It's talking badly. It sounds like you're gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
subject
Lark,
to change.
Lark basically comes up with a cure for these monsters.
Yeah.
And so now they can start like a fight. Oh, remembered. I did like one thing, and that was the Clayface suit in Batman 8.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That Clayface,
the anti-Clayface suit.
No. Clayface wraps around bats, Batman. And then he fights with Clayface like as a suit, like a fighting suit.
Interesting.
I thought it was neat because that whole scene, you see all these people walking around Batman. And at first, I didn't realize it. It's like what's going on? What's he planning? And then you actually realize all those people are Clayface.
Yeah.
And they just morph to his suit. And I actually think that's neat. I kind of want them to
go farther with that.
I want them to bring it back occasionally.
No, that was interesting. If I would like to believe that Clayface is gonna be the Solomon Grundy for the Justice League show. That he you know what I mean? That like Solomon Grundy had like such a good little bit.
Yeah.
That everybody really felt for him.
Yeah.
So I'm what I'm gonna assume is that Clayface is gonna get his
time to shine.
His time to shine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Another thing this writer is doing, I don't have to say, I'm bad with these names right now, but what he's doing is he's making it so Batman is calling everybody on the team Mister, and I don't know why I'm really enjoying that, like Mr. Thomas, and he calls Clayface Mr. something.
Yeah.
Clayface's name.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. It just I feel like that's kind of fitting in a sense, because Batman is a guy of kind of wealthy stature, and I kind of feel like his mannerisms would kind of be the same, like hello, Mr. Grayson. Like I don't know. It's like a small thing, but I enjoyed it.
No, it's good. It's good.
Something to add to the comic. Yeah. All right. So I think we're good with this.
Yeah.
Batman?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
moving on from those two, we're gonna get to Midnighter and Apollo.
Green Arrow, real quick.
Oh,
Yeah,
Green Arrow.
yeah.
We'll do. Do you? No, I think Midnight and Apollo wasn't as
It wasn't as
good
I just
as
like
Green
the
Arrow.
beginning where
I think Green Arrow was a good slice of life that I think Matt wants to take a minute. So let's.
I think it's a very simple issue.
Okay, let's do Midnighter and Apollo really quick because I think Green Arrow was honestly better for the fact that it was a slice of life and it didn't try.
Alright.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah. Let's jump
So
Midnight and Apollo.
Midnighter and Apollo.
They return.
Yeah, they back together again.
Wow.
Back in biblical ways, not just in
Whoa.
So
nothing. Oh my god.
yeah, so they know each other cardinally is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you know what that means.
They butt fucked.
Apollo gets his butt, Midnighter gets his butt, and they slap butt cheeks together.
Okay, yeah. So basically, they're back together fighting crime again and
Wow.
teaming up. I actually like the beginning of this. I actually really liked the beginning where he's fighting through the
fight.
train.
Yeah. Where he's like, you can't take all 30 of my boys or whatever. Like, is that a challenge?
Yeah.
And and I like how they actually dedicated like 2 or 3 pages to him actually kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah, like
That was definitely good.
mid like even though friggin' Apollo is basically Sentry / Superman / Quasar, he covers all the general superhero like powers. It's still nice to know that like Midnighter is able to put up a half like Superman to Batman, that we know that Batman could put up for his own just like Superman can.
They're just a gay iteration of both of them, pretty much. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Like Midnighter, he's interesting. He's technically a better version of Batman.
Yeah,
he's like a Punisher.
I will agree with you.
He's like a Punisher.
He's a Punisher Batman character.
Yeah, he dishes justice and he doesn't care about life or death.
Right, and he's kind of psychotic.
Yeah.
And he's funny. Yeah,
he's funny,
jokes.
which is something that we don't see Batman or Punisher do.
Right. But
I like these first villains they're fighting too, the Subway Pirates.
Yeah.
I like Half Beard. He was an interesting character who dies.
Dies like right in the beginning.
Yeah, which is great. But yeah, good villain designing, and like I think like for the first half of this whole train team was good, and then it just kind of falls short halfway through. Because then it became kind of like
that's the problem when you have a super character like Apollo. I mean, you
Yeah.
have a super threat, but then you got a guy who's way overqualified for this threat.
You know who I'm waiting for to make another comeback that we just saw come back, but I have a feeling we're not going to see anything from him for a while.
Let me guess. Grifter.
No.
Damn it.
Ulysses.
Ulysses.
And not Marvel see the future Ulysses. I meant the one that helped Superman fight Ulysses, the one that we saw last week.
Dude, what's wrong with Ulysses? What's wrong with Civil War Ulysses? Come on.
dude.
Everybody loves them.
Dude, the mind tentacle shit, dude.
Just explain those tentacles to me, and I won't say nothing.
Bendis, that's all.
Let's go. Let's get past that sickness.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but I think you guys get the idea from Midnight and Apollo. It was pretty good. I liked it. It was definitely reestablishing them, showing that hey, Midnight and Apollo, they're still doing their thing.
Yeah, but thing, I mean, touching each other's butts.
Yeah, they're clapping butt cheeks and fighting crime, and that's the most we can ask for.
I want to see more comics adapt the fighting scene that they did in the beginning. The whole
the train scene.
Yeah, like I really
feel like that could be good in a movie. But
yeah, it was a strong scene that personally I like to see that kind of action.
You want to know why that scene's good? It's good for the same reason the hallway scene is good in Old Boy. That we're getting a sideways scene of the action of just kicking ass as he's going down the hallway.
And you actually see because sometimes comics they just show a page or a panel somebody punching him and that's it. But you actually see the motions and how he fights. I just like that small detail. Just venting to you guys.
I honestly enjoyed because right now I don't know a lot about Midnighter and Apollo villains. Honestly, it's like Wildstorm universe, so that's kind of out of my.
That's out there. Out
of my knowledge. But I know this bad guy is Mr. Bendix.
Yeah.
He is basically, I guess he wants to take down either Midnighter and Apollo.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that scene where Midnighter is he keeps teleporting in and he's taking down all these bad guys.
Yeah.
And there's this one scene because I really like the brain in Monsieur Mala.
Yeah.
And it's a scene where he takes them down, and it's just it's a cool little
it's a nice little bit.
Reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw.
But so far, I don't know where this is gonna go at all.
Yeah. And he kind of reminds me of Lex Luthor. Maybe it's his baldness, but also it's calculating nature too. Like how he's close the doors. We need to talk, kind of thing. So I don't know. Mr. Bendix is kind of.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about these villains or anything.
Don't know. Don't care too much. But we like the direction. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, the ending was interesting. Apollo gets shot with those bullets, and now he's in hell.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen?
All right. Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah. So and then finally we got Superman.
Super dick.
No, we don't. We got Death of Hawkman.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Death of Hawkman.
Yeah.
And Green Arrow. Let's talk about Green Arrow too.
Okay, so we'll do Green Arrow first. So Green Arrow is Matt's favorite slice of life. It's
Green Arrow, Island of Love.
Yeah, it's
like Boogaloo. It's
so
it's basically okay. I used to watch for some backstory. I used to watch the Arrow TV series, and I was a little salt when they killed off Black Canary. And
dude, White Canary, bro. White Canary though. Don't worry about it.
Green Arrow and Black Canary they're like the couple. They're the DC couple. They've been together. It's like Lois and Superman.
Yeah, they're becoming that canon couple.
And when I saw DC Rebirth was bringing them back together, I was pretty happy. I was like, thank God they're actually going back to the original. They're going back to their roots. And basically, this issue, there's nothing to it. It's very simple. It's just basically Green Arrow's trapped on this island. Turns out Black Canary is there too, and it's just scenes. It's just love and life.
Yeah.
Survive this island. Very simple. No, nothing to it.
Reminds me of that Jimmy Neutron episode.
Where
Cindy and Jimmy?
Yes. Cindy and Jimmy on the island. Yeah.
I remember that.
That was a good episode.
If you want the gist of this story, watch that episode.
But you know what's a better episode where they get their powers in space and
oh yeah.
And Jimmy becomes the Hulk thing.
He becomes the Abomination, and surprisingly enough, Libby doesn't get lightning powers even though she's black. She gets invisible powers.
There are a lot of black people with lightning powers, coincidentally.
Yeah, but getting past Jimmy Neutron and Green Lantern, although it was good, I recommend if you're into that, that little bit. Don't stop. Stop. Okay. So the next, I think on the list is going to be Death of Hawkman, which I really enjoyed because it.
Yeah, Adam Strange is the star of the story. Yeah, not Hawkman.
On the cover, we see Despero in the background with Hawkman and Adam Strange fighting, which makes me interested just because of.
That was kind of almost like a teaser because we so far don't know who the villain is of this. Who started the war between Ran and Thanagar?
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously we see Despero. He's been a villain with both of these guys before, so I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a bigger part as the villain.
Yeah.
But Adam Strange is the star of the show. I like that scene. That's a small stupid detail, but when he's like shooting his blaster in space, and then he's because the beginning starts with him trying to reconcile with being like an average Joe, and then he's like, I gotta keep my senses in check. I gotta be ready. And then like you see him spraying the glass window.
Yeah, and he's like, he has like a regular job.
And then he's playing video games for his reaction.
Yeah, like it's.
I like how they. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I like how they kind of brought back that he was part of the Justice League of America.
Yeah.
For a little while, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there was a callback to those issues, so he wasn't just kind of lost after DC Rebirth started. Like he actually has some continuity in this universe.
Yeah.
So that was good. But what about that opening? That opening with Hawkman and Adam Strange just on the planet, and that there's like war going on. You see Hawkman has like a couple arrows through him.
Oh, where they're fighting and it's just them two? Yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. Because the thing is, isn't that Adam Strange's like planet? Isn't that the one that he?
I forget if it was Ran or Thanagar.
I think it was Ranner. I think it was the one that he's from, because at the end of the comic we see the war breaking out, and then, or not the end, we see the war kind of happening like throughout the comic on the home planet when he's dealing with his own stuff. We see his wife and his child dealing with like the
yeah, it was probably Ran.
Yeah. And then when he finally gets back, spoilers, that he gets back to the planet, he teleports, and then it's like, I'm finally back. And when he finally gets back, the war, like the planet's like destroyed. So
for those of you that don't know, like Adam Strange, he's just a regular human scientist. He gets teleported up to Ram through the Zeta Beam technology, and throughout this issue, he's finding out that he can't. For some reason, he's not getting teleported there. And basically, at the end of the issue, you see that there's war when he finally does get teleported in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a pretty good issue. We looking forward to actually Hawkman dying. Spoilers. No.
We'll see. We'll see if it actually happens.
Spoiler: death of Hawkman. Hawkman might actually die.
Whoa.
If Hawkman actually dies, or is this the Hawkman from Thanagar, or is this the Hawkman from Egypt, where he's brutally cuckolded by Jon Stewart?
That's my favorite Hawkman.
That's my favorite
because he's a cuck.
or is it Space Hawkman from the planet Thanagar X?
Oh god! All right, what's next on?
I think we're fine. I think with DC, we're pretty much wrapping up with Superman.
All right. Yeah, good issue. Good.
It was because it's a throwback to Darwin Cook.
Yes, sir.
Which is,
sir, we see. Well, how about we just talk about what happens first, and then we'll tell it at the end.
Yeah. So Superman and Superboy or John or whatever his title is going to be when he gets one.
Damien.
I'm just kidding. It's going to be Godchild or whatever, but when we see them working together on a science project in the Fortress of Solitude, and what ends up happening is, I guess John makes a time machine, a teleporter.
I don't know.
I think whatever it does, it teleports them to an island.
Yes.
Dinos.
That's right.
Yes. Island of dinos.
It seemed like an abandoned World War II island.
Yeah, there was a lot of dead corpses of American soldiers strewn about, including... America. Including John Cloud, one of the many names caught on the list, or that they pick up one of the dog tags Superman does, and he sees who they are. And what I like is that they didn't have to do this. They could have just let them walk through the forest until they got to where they need to be.
Right.
But Superman actually, like, they make it a point to say that Superman takes the time to bury every one of their bodies. That they're like, these men were American heroes,
right.
And they deserve that respect.
Which is nice.
Yeah. So.
And how this issue ends off is they go into a cave and they find an inscription on the cave walls. And it says, "This is the story of the losers." And what makes this important is, I don't know if anyone's read the Justice League New Frontier, but basically it deals with the losers, the comic book World War II team, and basically that comic book deals with how they all ended up dying. They ended up going to that island and
sacrificing themselves.
just to do this final mission. And Cloud, it's cool. In the comic book, he buries his fellow losers, and you see their hats. And basically everything from New Frontier is kind of taken and placed in this.
Yeah,
it's Superman comic. And even in the end, it says for Darn Cook.
Which is a nice... Wait, but there's a part of the message that I was actually interested in that I was going to ask you about.
What's up?
So when it says this is the story of the losers, like halfway through it, he mentions Flag. I don't think he's talking about Rick Flag, because Rick Flag has 2 Gs.
I honestly forget if Rick Flag Sr. was... Because Rick Flag has a father. You know, I'm not talking about Rick Flag from Suicide Squad.
I'm talking about Daddy Flag.
Yes.
Daddy Flag.
Daddy Flag. I forget if Daddy Flag was in the original Losers.
Yeah, but the message that they leave behind,
very cryptic.
It's like, I like that it has each of their names on it, and it's just like, this is the reason we died here, and we can't see it all. That's the important thing. Dude. Is that Superman is covering a very important part of the message,
and we all know what happened. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs killed them.
I actually think that here's another little theory coming from my side of the table here.
Cube's theories. Here we
go. Because the thing is, they say they're like defending something, and do you remember like how the Blackhawks defended that tech, and they basically spent their lives and they built traps on an island to defend that stuff. I have a feeling like this might be the same sort of ideal, that there was something on the island that they were defending, but I think, yet again, just to guess, I think it was a person, and I think this person has. Like, I don't know if they have power or whatever, but I think this person was important because I think I think somewhere in the message to Flag he mentions, or I don't know if it's a person, but the person that leaves the message is mentioning something in particular that we don't hear about.
Honestly, I'll be frank with you. I have a theory that whoever wrote the message, I think they're still gonna be alive because DC doesn't like to kill people off.
That's what I was gonna. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about.
Yeah.
Because in the New Frontier, John Cloud, the leader of the Losers, gets the message. And if you guys have seen the cover preview for the next Superman, you see a guy that looks exactly like John Cloud.
There you go.
Superman's son.
There you
go.
So
I think you were pretty spot on with that.
Thank you.
Even though you didn't know that, like you pretty much had that dead on.
Yeah.
See, like that just goes to show the predictability of the direction of what DC does.
Dude, they already got the time machine box. They're just going to go back in time again.
No! No time travel.
What I kind of like about this is in the New Frontier, you only see John Cloud writing basically the start of this whole inscription.
Yeah.
In the Superman comic, you see it's
finished.
You know?
Finished.
So
So that's a nice tie-in. Yeah.
I really, really, really want this to teach John a lesson. I really, I want whatever the lesson of this island to be of the losers like sacrificing themselves for John to be like, maybe this is a good reason for me to be a good hero.
There you go.
As a kid, I have seen too much.
Yeah.
So but we'll see how that goes. But yet again, Superman so far.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I just remembered this right now before we get off topic with DC and everything, that we were talking about Midnighter and Apollo, the Wildstorm universe, and I don't know if you guys heard, but I think Warren Ellis is actually rebooting the entire Wildstorm universe. It was announced at New York Comic Con.
Really?
Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah. He's completely, they're redoing it. It's going to be coming back.
That's pretty solid.
Dude, just like the next wave.
Oh, God. Yeah, Jesus Christ. But from what I've heard, the new Wildstorm books are going to exist in their own universe, and they're not going to cross over with Midnighter and Apollo. I guess those are still going to be DC.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, they're bringing back Grifter, bringing back. I don't know a lot about Wildstorm, but I think Gen Next is one of them. That might be completely off with that one. But it's a whole universe that DC used to have, and they're all coming back.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be the young animals. All right. So what do you guys think was the weakest this week in?
So moving on to Marvel.
No, wait. One last thing. This isn't the best one, but we totally skipped over it. The new Deadman comic. came out.
Oh, yeah,
I saw it was there. Didn't read it.
Yeah. So we'll just do a little quick thing about it. Dead Man is now trapped in a house with some lady that can see ghosts, and now he's got to deal with it.
Yeah, okay.
Dead Man. There you go.
Okay, thank you. I understand everything now.
Okay. All right, Marvel. So let's see.
Yes. So Marvel. Let's start with.
Weakest.
Let's see. We already got Cyborg. Okay, Marvel. Let's start with Death of X.
Death of X.
Yeah.
Oh, we're starting off strong. We're starting off with the big one.
Okay. Well, fine then. Let's start with Uncanny Xmen.
No, let's start. You want to start with a weak one? Let's start with Jessica Jones.
Okay, Jessica Jones.
Now we can make quick work of it. Jessica Jones is released from prison.
Yeah, and then
we don't know where the child is. We have no clue.
And then there was a small cameo from the all new Avengers.
Yeah.
The champions, excuse me.
Yeah.
How dare I?
Yeah.
The champion.
Were the champion? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was Ms. Marvel.
They fly by.
Yeah, it was a cameo.
Yeah, they're not in the comic. They just also happen to be going down the street when Jessica's going down the street. Is the only thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, like when reading this comic, it looks exactly like Elias did. Elias Investigations.
Yeah.
Everything looks exactly the same, except the plot isn't nearly as good.
Yeah. Look, all like finishing it. Luke Cage shows up and he's like, "Where's my baby?" And that's the end of the comic. Yeah. That's what we got to deal with.
You know, shit's gonna get down when Luke Cage comes and says, "Where's my baby?"
Where's my baby? So
yeah, and we don't know what's going on. I mean, the characterizations are off. Misty Knight freaking attacks her.
Yeah, but it's starting off pretty obscure. We'll see where it goes. But you know, just filling you guys in. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right, what's next? What's next on this list?
Let's see. Jessica Jones happened.
I want to save Iron Man. How about Wolverine? The all new Wolverine.
Okay.
So.
I didn't read it.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay, that's fine. We'll fill you in. So, our good old Laura, you know, the clone of Logan.
Yeah.
We see her at a town like totally filled with dead people. And then it takes a flashback to how you know the events leading up to that, the town being totally like just obliterated.
No, I'm lying to you. But all the people were dead.
Yeah, all the people are dead. And then we find, well, I think this is known, but personally, I didn't even know about this. About their serum that makes her go, you know, nuts. Basically, yeah. They show how that, through that serum that makes her go nuts, she kills her mom, she kills her mentor, she kills a bunch of people. And then her sister, you know, they totally, maybe I missed this, but back in the other all-new Wolverine issues, we see Logan meet with Laura and then her younger sister.
Yeah.
And then Logan goes apeshit, like, kill her, she's evil. I don't know if they skipped that, what happens.
The resolution to that?
Yeah, I think like Wolverine
basically what happens is Logan, he kind of kills her. I forget how she comes back.
Oh, because she has regenerating powers. Yeah, go figure.
Was it, I forget if she... Was it regenerating?
No, I think he like tries to kill her, and then Laura's like, "You try to kill her."
No, he did.
Oh,
he
no,
did.
No, yeah. You know what? It was. I forget. She ends up popping a claw in the end. Like she ends up activating her power.
Yeah. And we see that in this issue. Like it's a funny little tidbit, but
they
were riding the car, and then she pops the tire of the person who was cussing them out.
Yeah, and she has powers like Spike from
X-Men
Evolution. Hey! She could throw the spikes.
She shoots out her claws.
Yeah, she shoots one.
Yeah. So that.
Oh, dude. Is it possible if we can play the X-Men Evolution opening right now?
I don't know if that's copyright, but you guys get the idea that she has these powers.
But and it was interesting what they did in the end. I guess whoever is responsible, I don't know if it's like Stryker.
I thought it was Terrigen Mist for the first even though I had read the comic and they had clearly explained that that this was the stuff that would make her go crazy. I was like, why are they just dropping Terrigen Mist from this? What's going on?
They're killing everyone. No, but so. You know, she's in this new town, and then she's like, "Oh shit, guys, you got to get out."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, sucks, too late." I like how she saw that coming. Like, "All right, well, you guys are done."
Yeah.
And then you see the mist,
rolling,
that green mist,
and then it ends.
Yeah, and then that's where the issue ends. So it's gonna be good
when it starts back up again.
Is it Terrigen Mist or is it
No, it's the they call it the serum, right? That's
that's what they call it. Who knows?
And all it is that if Laura smells the serum, she goes crazy.
Yeah, she goes feral, basically.
Yeah.
So so that's where that ends off. So a pretty good issue this week.
I think next in terms of like
whatever or better.
I'm trying to remember what happened in Invincible Iron Man.
It's big. I want to save that one.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually
the one with the alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Let me save that one after Spider-Man 2099.
His mama.
Sure.
Yeah, but let's. How about have you guys read Spider-Man 2099?
No, I didn't.
No, didn't read that.
Okay, it's a pretty interestingly bad.
How so?
So basically, Miguel O'Hara, he goes to the future to save the Captain America of 2099.
Is that the cool one from like Paradise X where he's wearing like the American flag?
No,
and then he's bald.
No. It's Roberta, whatever. Well, she's buff.
Oh well, let me tell you, I mean that's a shame.
Okay, not for me. I like my women muscular and strong.
I know you do. I'm not talking about the woman. I'm talking about that it's not bald American flag wearing Captain America. That's where I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed too. But we can't have
one. Yeah. Sorry, continue.
So she's in trouble, and I like how she has faith in Miguel because she. What happens is J. Jonah Jameson. He survived. He's somehow alive, and he's the CEO of Alchemex or some other foundation.
It's not Alchemex.
No.
It's something
that's
Max.
Oliver Stone. I think.
Yeah.
But some other like evil corporation, and then he's like, Spider.
It's not Alchemex.
No, it's not.
Sure?
Is it?
Huh.
I don't know.
Because Spider-Man 2099 deals primarily with Alchemex.
Right.
Like,
but
that's why I'm surprised.
I'll tell you right now, but I don't think it was Alchemex. But let me see. Yeah, okay, it was Alchemex.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, I'm not crazy. Yeah. So yeah, it was Alchemex. So Jameson is still alive.
He's got to be like almost 200 years old.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm just gonna spoil it right here. He basically is a Skrull. He's a Skrull who's basically been implanted with the memories of Jameson.
That's trash.
Like who firmly believes that like Peter Parker killed his wife and I don't know what this and that. It wasn't good, honestly. I mean, he saves the day. Spider-Man goes in, saves the day, and then he tells Jameson like, "Yeah, you're trash. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're doing." And then it was just whatever.
Talk about the heroes that appear because I'm reading through it right now, and there's like a whole bunch of 2099 heroes that are.
You see the Double D. Yeah. You see the Spider-Mans. You see.
There's Daredevil of 2099.
Yeah.
There's Moon Knight of 2099.
Female.
Yeah, female Moon Knight of 2099, and then there's also obviously Captain America, the chick of 2099, the buff chick.
How about the Power Pack? The fucking Power Pack are in it.
Yeah, they're there, and it's funny because there's this. It was just one. It was a panel or a page, but he's trying to. Miguel O'Hara is like, "Hey guys, we gotta save them." They're like, "Nah, I don't want it." What's her face? American something? Cute.
America Chavez? What?
Yeah,
is that her?
I think so. Because
I don't think
some magic.
That's not her. She has the star stuff. That's not America.
She resembles her. I don't know who she is exactly.
Dude, that's racist. America Chavez is black.
Maybe what? She was black.
No, she wasn't.
She's darker.
No, she's not. She's not wearing her cool Converse and her America jacket.
Okay,
that's clearly not her.
She's a gypsy. Oh, there's Deadpool. That's right.
Is that female Deadpool?
Yeah, female Deadpool in the end who comes and I guess is about to execute Jameson.
You know, it'd be great to find out if that's not actually female Deadpool. That's the monster that they're fighting in Deadpool versus Spider-Man. I'd be very interested to see if that was true. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
the half
child,
half Deadpool, half Spider-Man, half woman.
And then
wait, I just got that's Doctor Strange's daughter.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's not.
There you go.
That's not America Chavez.
Yeah. Man, dude, what are you talking about?
Christ, Alright, well,
He wasn't in the comic, was he? Jesus? Jesus? Did Jesus get a cameo?
All right.
Moving on from that, from Spider-Man 2099. I mean, would
Not
you
very
yay
good.
or nay for 2099 for this
Nay.
week? Nay? Okay.
It was not good.
Okay.
I like Miguel O'Hara. Didn't like this comic, so
Okay.
whatever.
I do not remember what happens in all different X-Men or Avengers.
But
But I do remember what happens in...
That one didn't come out this week.
No,
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Why do I have it saved here?
No.
Oh, maybe I just saved next week's issue. Maybe I saved the cover from next week. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Let's do Uncanny X-Men next.
Yes. Okay.
So,
That one's... I have no clue what's going on.
Okay.
Exodus is
Yeah.
fighting Magneto.
Yeah. So like it was actually lame, the delivery of like, oh, it was Exodus
It
this
was
whole time.
Yeah, it was Exodus.
And not only that, but in the previous issue, they captured one of the, what were they called?
The
I don't know.
Inhumans? No.
No. It was not the Inhumans. It was
one of the wolf guys that like Exodus had transformed. I
Yeah.
forget what their names are though.
right,
And that's why Psylocke.
Hellfire Club. No. I'm
It's one of the guys under
You can do it.
Exodus.
You can do it.
the sleepers.
It's one of the sleeper agents.
Yeah.
That Exodus creates, and
Yeah.
basically
And
Psylocke has to kill him to extract the memory of Exodus.
Which it was funny because since Magneto's like the leader of the X-Men in this
Yeah.
run, and she's like, yeah, I'm not a killer anymore. I don't want to kill this dude. He's like, well, do it because it's for the sake of the greater good.
Oh my god, I'm trying to remember what comic came out recently in the past 2 weeks
Okay.
that somebody else. Was it an Uncanny X-Men this happened where somebody else was getting experimented on and they couldn't remember who was doing it? And I think it was like the same idea that it was like Exodus or someone doing it, or was that DC? I'm sorry, I'm throwing this off.
I
I
don't.
forget.
Not that I can
yeah.
recollect.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Continue. That's just
No.
my bad.
And then we have I don't know who this mutant chick.
Monet. It's Monet.
Monet. Yeah. So Psylocke refuses to crack into the mind of this sleeper or whatever they're called. Then Monet, Magneto's like, well, you go ahead because you got telepathy. She's like, okay, baby, hitting on him the whole time. Psylocke's, you're keeping secrets from me, Eric. This, and that. And then skip to the Exodus confrontation. Exodus is, trying to run the world, this, and that. And supposedly he's rallying the world
in sleeper agents.
and sleeper agent, and like basically killing people because, and then and saying like, yeah, I'm doing this all for you, Magneto, because you're the best, and
because we know mutants are where it's at.
yeah,
Mutants are where it's at, and we don't need
mutant
anyone else. And then Magneto's like, yeah, I used to think that, but I'm Magneto. I'm the new Magneto.
Yeah, I am better. And then they have this fight, and I actually like a few of the fight things that happen. Magneto, he has like a whole gauntlet of metal, and
he like uses it. Yeah.
No, like he actually just like punches him with it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Right here, he like you see it form
He,
up,
like,
and then
forms
he's
it
like,
into
just
his
bam.
hand.
And then a part where Exodus knocks his helmet off. He does like some kind of energy beam, and then Magneto uses his helmet to like bash him in
fight.
the face.
Yeah, he uses the helmet because the helmet's magnetic as well. So it's a nice touch.
Yeah, it's cool. And then right then and there it ends, and then you don't get to see. I guess he just ties him up, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm better than you." But you don't see. There's no closure. What happens to Exodus?
Yeah.
And then
I don't know, guys. I mean, like, I'm listening to this, and it doesn't sound like my kind of X-Men.
No, it's not.
Personally, I enjoyed, like, when Cyclops is in the mix. I'm a big Cyclops fan, no matter what other people say.
I never used to like Cyclops, but he's starting to grow on me the more I read about him. But, it's not going a good direction, my friend.
I got a question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
Who's more dedicated to who? Old Harley Quinn dedicated to Joker, or old Mystique dedicated to Magneto?
Fucking Harley Quinn. Are you kidding me? Mystique's dedicated to no one.
Okay, there you go. That's all I want to
Yeah,
know.
and fucks every guy.
All I remember is that in the old cartoons and stuff, the Mystique always seemed to be so like dedicated to Eric, and then all of a sudden she's like, "No, I'm not anymore." But that's okay because they actually.
Those are the cartoons, though. The cartoons of the movie completely paint a different picture of Mystique.
Yeah.
Mystique's like somewhat like a mutant that's had kids with God knows.
Right.
Azazel.
Logan, kid with
Azazel.
Sabretooth. Azazel, yeah, freaking Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Like, she is for her own self. Like,
Right.
There's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that run of Uncanny X-Men. Psylocke, I guess the big... Yeah, she's like, fuck you, Magneto, because you keep secrets from me and you don't trust me, so, check you later.
But you were part of the X-Force, weren't you? Was it the X-Force? What's King... X-Force? X-Force, right? Mm. Like, you're part of the X-Force, lady. Like, you come on.
She was a mercenary.
Yeah. And you're, like, complaining that, like, people betray you and stuff? It's like, really?
And even then, he didn't do anything to you. Like, he's just like, you guys don't understand what's going to happen. I need to take over kind of thing. I don't know. I think she was just being difficult in this run, but, whatever. So, Uncanny X-Men, pretty weak. I'm going to give it a nay.
I give it a nay? Okay.
Yeah.
Are we reviewing now? Is that what we're doing?
I think just throw your opinion where you feel generous. You don't have to.
I don't know.
Alright.
I think the next would be Doctor Strange.
Death of X?
Or Death of X. You want to do Death of X?
Or Death of X?
You do Death of X next, since we're still on X-Men.
So, the big deal, Cyclops wages the war for mutants against the Inhumans.
More or less, because of the...
I think it's starting to show how exactly that happened.
How we're going about that,
yeah. And it's the whole mist.
I enjoyed the scenes where it shows the X-Men kind of what's going on with them while the Inhumans are kind of flourishing. People are actually going out to see the Terrigen mist.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I honestly don't know. I was kind of hoping that they would kill off someone more prominent in the comic book. But they killing off Jamie Madrox, the Multiple Man, probably the one character who can escape death extremely easy.
Because he just makes clones himself so constantly often.
Yeah, it's not even the first time he's died. And
I
was a clone.
Yeah.
And they even make it a point to ask and be like, hey, are you the original? And he's like, yeah, but how often do we run into a moment where he's like, oh, he wasn't the original, he just thought he was the original.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
How many scrolls, how many infinite times in Marvel have we seen someone become a scroll? like come on.
Honestly. It's such a cheap writing.
It's not surprising. It's not surprising that someone says something and it's actually not true in Marvel.
Yeah, so we'll see how that pans out. But for the most part, I think if the X-Men and the mutants or just the X-Men in general are going to die, I think they just need to do it already. I'm tired of the build-up. I'm tired.
Right.
Like, okay, I get it, Marvel. You don't own them movie-wise anymore. You need to push the Inhumans. The Inhumans are going to be the next big thing for you, I guess. I'm not saying that. You guys are thinking that. So
I think it's still a big mistake that they're doing this. Honestly, right. X-Men have been like their top-selling characters in books for like the longest time. I mean, freaking Wolverine and Deadpool are two of like the most popular comic book characters in the world.
Right.
Well, it's like, I mean, you don't have the.
What are you talking about, dude? But all the cool Inhumans, man, like Medusa and
stop.
Ulysses though. I mean, he's so good.
Oh,
he's so good.
Nice. Ulysses is a rehash of Destiny, another precog. I mean,
the direction. Yeah, the writing has been lackluster.
Here's a question.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna name a hero. He's called Our Man.
Our Man.
He has the power of Ulysses. Okay,
DC?
You're talking DC's Our Man. Yes.
Okay.
He has the power of Ulysses. He can see the future, and he has gone out of his way to make sure that future is possible. He sees the future and he knows it's gonna happen, so he makes it happen, or he goes out to make sure it happens,
which is cool.
So nobody has a problem with him.
No.
Nobody's got a problem with the dude that can see an hour in the future and probably predict natural disasters around every corner. No. But Ulysses? Hey, my boy Ulysses?
No.
He's got you, though. He's got you.
No.
He's been wrong, too.
He's been wrong.
And Our Man's always been right. Our man has always been right with his predictions. How is you and you? Oh my
not
God.
just that, but the way they're treating Ulysses, and Ulysses is just a big puss. You know, he's just like
and it's not you.
fight.
Okay, like let's assume like if let's say the comic was a movie and Ulysses was an actor, I wouldn't be able to blame Ulysses. His writing is what makes him terrible.
Exactly.
It's the way that Ulysses acts. It's not like the way he looks is fine. The way his character is designed and everything is fine.
You know?
And even his backstory is fine. That he was just like it's just someone like us, like a college student that like gets these powers and now he's thrown into this war.
Yeah.
That's fine. I get all that, but the way he's reacting to it, where he's just like confining himself to a cell, and until a big vision comes that could or could not be true happens, he decides to run out,
and everybody's losing their shit over it. You know, he has the perfect setup, the perfect build up. The lack of execution is what makes me pissed.
Do you guys remember Blindfold? You guys remember the mutant Blindfold?
No.
She has precognition powers too. Like,
but dude,
what the fuck happened to her?
She's so dude. But what about Forget Me Not, dude? What about my favorite X-Men?
Oh, Bendis, what have you done? What have you done to us,
dude? Don't even fuck around. Forget Me Not has been at every single victory for the X-Men, and nobody remembers. He was there. He has made sure victories happen, and you know what? You know who remembers? Fucking nobody. Yeah. Xavier's dead. He don't remember.
He can't remember.
He can't remember. He's dead.
So that's Uncanny Xmen for you guys.
Yeah, and that was Death of X.
Excuse me, Death of X.
Yeah.
And then next up, want to go for
Doc Strange.
And
then let's do Champions, and then we'll do Doc Strange.
Good old Champions.
So, Champions. The Champions.
They're my champions.
Okay, so
fuck. This is good.
To summarize in one quick way is New Nova, Sam, Kid Arachnid,
and
Miles, Miss Marvel, Kamala, new Totally Awesome Hulk, Amadeus, and Viv of the Visions unite and come together to form a new team. And this issue is how they decide to join up after Miss Marvel quits being an Avenger. She decides, hey, I'm going to call my two teenage buddies because they're my good friends. And I need some moral thinking that I can't handle myself.
Yes.
So she calls them. They decide to become a team. And they all come together as the champions. # champions. # champions.
So woke.
So,
listen, before we get into this, I want to just talk about why she left. Honestly, like how they destroyed this guy's food truck.
Yep.
And she's like, let's fix it. And I mean, she still could have fixed it. Like she
the
team right then and there, but she didn't fix it. She just left.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you don't know how to fix a food truck that's been crushed by like a piece of rubble. Like what was your plan on fixing that right there? And that was what started this. That they wanted to help people with that, even though she didn't help that guy.
Yeah.
I guess what they're trying to make us believe is that it's supposed to be a buildup of I think what they're trying to do is that they're believing that we have already read last week's comic of her having a problem with Captain Marvel.
Yep.
So it's supposed to be like, oh, this is a cumulative like buildup of all these problems she's had, and now it's coming out as the champions.
Yeah.
So it's just all about how they come together and save some Asian hookers from getting sent in a box far, far away.
By the Joker.
By Marvel's ghetto rig Joker. And it ends with them saving a majority of them. One of them dies, and it's incredibly sad. This woman's life.
Yeah.
Hey! This woman's life is over.
Done.
She is not getting another day.
No.
She is not getting another #day.
Won't breathe another breath.
Right afterward.
She will never experience happiness anymore.
No, and you know what ends up happening? People start hashtagging that shit right there.
Champion.
Miss Marvel comes out and and you know what the first thing she says? I'm not good at speeches, but I'm about to give you guys a speech. And when she says, but she says this whole speech, and then at the end of it, everybody's like, "Yeah, they're heroes."
Yeah.
You know what? #champions.
Champions, dude. Champions.
I am awoke. #champion.
So the final page of this is them all standing there, looking at their phones.
Like, whoa, we're the champions.
And everybody's like, hey, these kids are so cool.
Yeah.
They're sending Twitter posts about us, about how we're the next generation of heroes. And #champions.
Champion. And then they have the whole corny when Kamala's giving the speech, and then they're showing like all the other heroes doing their own thing.
Yeah.
We got Black Chick Iron Man. We got the Wasp. We got Kid Cyclops. Like, help us become champions.
Yeah.
And then it's just them looking at their phones.
Yeah, they don't realize that there's a corpse there that they should
Yeah. Do you think that
notify the police that there's a corpse?
we probably should notify the police? But
they don't even, they have their phones out. They don't take out their phones, dial 911. No,
I think there's an ambulance there in an earlier scene.
Oh, well, still, it's just.
But they totally dropped that somebody just died.
I have a question. How do they all have their phones? None of them have pockets except for probably Viv and Kamala. Maybe Kamala. They're all wearing their costumes right now.
But
Spider-Man sticks it up his butt.
The new Spider-Man
It's that
confirmed game.
theory, how does Deadpool always have a gun on him even though he doesn't have, he has pouches?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just nitpicking.
I got a question for you guys, and this isn't like story oriented or nothing. Do you think Viv is gonna get a costume, or do you think she's always just gonna be dressed like Viv,
I'm cool if she's just dressed like
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Because I feel like she doesn't. She could change it if she wanted,
Sure.
but I feel like she's like, I don't need that.
Why does she need a secret identity? Honestly,
Yeah. I actually this is a little something for like people like me and Steve to only catch, but like if you look at the 3 diamonds on her chest, I know it's supposed to be like a Vision thing, the 3 diamonds, but there's actually a fighting game that uses that called Capcom versus SNK. They use that layout, like those 3 diamonds like that, and they write stuff across them. And I was like, I know that. I don't think that's a reference to anything.
I'm expecting this to come sometime if Champions is a canon thing where they keep it going.
Oh, I think it's going to be. I think the champions are going to be the Teen Titans.
Yeah, they're going to be the Teen Titans, and I have a feeling that the Vision, Viv's father, is going to sweep in for when shit goes down. He's going to come in and sweep it up, something like.
I like how pissed off he looked. When he answers the door, when Hulk when they're coming to get Viv, they knock on the door and the Vision's just standing there yes.
It's understandable. I mean, after the events of the Vision.
Okay, that's my question. Is this after the events of the Vision?
No, of course. We don't see his wife, so I mean.
She left him.
Maybe she's fucking dead, dude. I don't know.
She left him. You killed the Guardians of the Galaxy ship. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
That's not the word.
She
killed Vic.
Yeah.
She literally tore out his heart, metal, and everything.
So we can either speculate she's in jail or she's dead.
I think she's just gonna leave. I think she's gonna want a divorce. I think it's about to get real. I think.
You made me. This is your fault.
Yeah, it's like we may be married, and we may have been of one mind, but not anymore. Yeah. and then he's like, I'm filing a divorce. I'm gonna go live with my sister, and it's gonna turn like some crazy backwater freaking Jerry Springer episode between the Visions. That ain't my daughter. Viv ain't mine. Who's that daughter?
Alright, let's jump on to the next one.
I think I think we're pretty much at the end of it here.
Wait, no. There's Spider-Man, and then there's Iron Man.
Iron Man. I think those are the last 2.
Yeah,
though,
those are
right?
the last 2.
No, and Doc Strange.
Oh yeah. All right.
So let's.
Want to talk about it?
And Cage. We're all over the place.
Okay.
Now. So I know Amin's very interested in the new Spider-Man and stuff. So let's start there because I'm going to save my bit for Cage and stuff like that.
You know what? We saw talking about the new Amazing Spider-Man. I think it was 19. It was released this week, and we get to see something very familiar, guys. The Peter luck.
The Peter luck.
Yeah, Peter's good luck.
Oh, I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, the good old Peter luck.
Yeah, go ahead.
So his stepfather, J. Jonah Jameson's dad, and then Jameson's. So now they're stepbrothers, I guess.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're married, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's...
And then we see this.
He's not his mom.
Yeah, and we see this issue that I forgot his name. Jameson's father. crap, I forgot his name. But
Yeah.
he's in the hospital. He's dying. He's an old dude.
And they can provide with him.
Yeah, because the Jackal, and I think it was like the new or like the U or
It's not the new U. The
Yeah.
new U is from Borderlands. That's
No, it's New You.
Is it the new U really? Because that's the thing that they call the revive machine.
copyright
Borderlands.
that shit.
That's nuts. I did not even know that.
Yeah, I know I'm not crazy. But yeah, so the new You is mysteriously the Jackal, and behind the scenes.
Yeah,
And
and
then
he's offering a way to revive Jonah.
Jonah's father.
Yeah.
Solace and life, I guess, to be reincarnated.
Is that what it is? I thought
Yeah.
that they knew you
Like could save him medically.
Yeah, I thought it made organs or something like that. I thought it like
something. Yeah.
yeah.
And but Peter's like, no, dude, my spider senses go nuts. This is not good. We can't do this. And then we even see, I think it's Gwen Stacy with the Jackal.
Yeah, we do. I think
Yeah.
it's yet again we got like a clone or who cares about Gwen?
Please drop it.
I don't know if you guys read this is like the third fucking clone saga, honestly.
Yeah, and
in the original one, the main villain was the Jackal.
right, but it was
Okay,
excellent. Like
And
it was the '90s run.
This professor named Miles Warren obsessed with Gwen Stacy, and he brought her back to life. So I think that's what's going on right now. It's you see Gwen Stacy, you see all the clones of Miles Warren,
Yeah.
and then you see the Jackal. But what I'm curious about is he doesn't look like the other clones of Miles Warren, so I'm wondering who's behind the mask in this comic.
It's Jameson. No, no.
Watch, just watch it. It's gonna, you know who it's gonna be? It's gonna be Man Gwen. So it's
Oh,
gonna be, what would a
stop.
man's name for Gwen be? It's gonna be Gil. It's gonna be
Gil.
it's gonna be started with Gabriel.
Gabe.
I don't know.
It's just gonna be Gen. Take out the
Gen. Yeah, take out the Gen. There you go. It's gonna be.
I actually think it might actually be Peter because he knows who Spider-Man is. And
You think it's gonna be a clone, another clone of Peter?
And he had that scruff actually, because Peter had a scruff in this issue. Okay,
Yeah,
and
because
then
they kind of look the same, kind of the same body type.
yeah.
Do you think it's another clone like Ben, or do you think it's gonna be like another clone in general?
I think it could either be like maybe Miles Warren transferred his consciousness to Ben's body.
Oh my God. Okay, so look, God, so you guys are talking about this, and I can already, I'm having these terrible nightmares of them making a clone of Peter again, and then Otto gets in the clone because he needs a body.
And that's what they're hinting at.
It's like, oh, please,
Well,
that's
yeah.
two good storylines. You're
What
gonna
if-
crash.
honestly,
together.
what if it is like a new Doc Ock? Because remember, like we saw him taking form of that robot.
Well, no, it can't be Doc Ock because he's going. Because at this point, the Jackal's already around.
Yeah,
He's already around. And Doc
he's already
Ock's
established. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I honestly don't want to think too hard about it because it's not well done.
It's clones, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
it's already been. This is the third time they're doing something like this.
Right.
And honestly, I don't understand why they're rehashing this exactly again. But
No, but you like clones, though, don't you? You like clones. So you know what we're going to give you? More fucking clones. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's more
Yeah,
clones!
yeah. And guess what?
not good enough. Let's do it again.
Yeah, and guess what? Gwen Stacy? Nah, she's back, dude. She's back. Back in black.
Have you heard about clones? I hear they're pretty cool. Here's one. How you like one? Oh, here's another.
Oh,
wait.
It's not enough. More.
More clones. More clones. More clones.
And it's interesting. Oh, his name is Jay. Okay, go figure. J. Jonah Jameson's father. His name is Jay.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
and we see like he has this absolute unwavering trust in Peter to get the family the heirloom.
Oh.
And also, yeah, and then and here's where the Peter luck comes in. So Peter goes to go grab it, and then next you know the construction site
falls apart.
Yeah, it's falling apart, and he's like holding on to the thing for like an hour or something. Like he's been holding on, and then he's like, "Shit, guys,
I gotta go. Can somebody come on?"
like hurry the fuck up." And then Jay goes in like some kind of cardiac arrest. And then he's just like, "Please live, god damn it!" And then he's like holding on there, like, "Come on, hurry up!" And then the heirloom, the box that holds the heirloom, which is a family watch, it drops.
How? Okay, explain that to me.
The back.
His webbing
Yeah, his
Does
webbing
it? Does
dissolves.
it? He's
Yeah.
been there for so long.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah. See, hurry! My webs last only an hour.
Okay.
And then that's what happens in this case. and then the webbing gets weak, and it actually, I guess it cuts him right here, and then
it just dissolves.
Yeah.
I like how it literally dissolves into nothing. It's not that it doesn't become sticky anymore.
Yeah.
It's that it's physically removed off the face of the earth.
Right. And then it sucks because like he's been waiting there for an hour. Like hurry up.
Yeah.
Okay, help finally comes. He drops the heirloom. Like the whole thing crashes. And then he goes there. Jay is dead. He passes away. And then he opens the box of the heirloom. The heirloom is like crushed.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole big fuck you. And so basically there's a Peter Luck. And then if you continue reading, we see Vanessa, a clone of Vanessa, or a reincarnation of her, approaching Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. And then, what an entrance. Hello again, my husband. Like, you have to stay like, hey, you're my husband. Hello again.
And the thing is all offered by the Jackal. Like, a clone of Vanessa is offered by the Jackal to Kingpin.
Right. And pretty good right here. Where he's like, how is this possible? Warren, what have you done? So, yeah, it is Warren.
Yeah.
A clone? No, this is something new, light years ahead.
Yet again, he's saying yes to the name Warren. We don't know if it's actually Warren.
He's always been associated. He's always been the Jackal.
Yeah, so with the people are calling him Warren, but he could be like, yeah, my name's Warren.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's me, my love. I return full health. It's like, how many times have you rehearsed that, you piece of shit?
Yeah.
My love, it's you again. Hey.
Yeah.
Let's get some fuck. And then he's looking at her, and then, like, unexpectedly just snaps her neck right then and there.
I think, we say unexpectedly because, like, the way they frame it in the comic, but I don't think this is unexpected from Kingpin's perspective.
No,
I think
it's to be expected.
Yeah, like,
this is his
like
wife.
this is disrespecting his wife.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you like bring her memory back?
Right. And you know what? Dan Slott has been like an easygoing writer. Like his plots don't get too serious. He doesn't kill off much people, but this was like, whoa, that's pretty. Like,
whoa!
Yeah, there we go.
Now, see, that's where I disagree with you. I mean, because I thought this was kind of stupid, honestly, because she's a clone. That's the problem with clones.
Yeah.
You can't take anything seriously because they're clones. They're either these people are already dead or like
Right.
None of this really matters because they're clones.
Right.
That's my problem with the clone saga.
No, I know what you mean. I'm not. I'm not saying I don't like. What I'm saying is, Dan Slott's writing has been like Everybody Lives. It's been easygoing, nothing too serious. This is what I didn't mean. Like I didn't see this coming.
Like how Kingpin actually snapped.
Yeah. It's like okay, there we go. Like that's very Kingpin like. That's I could get to this, And then all of a sudden, Kingpin's like, kill a bastard.
Because he disrespected the image of my wife!
Yeah, that's not my wife. Shut up, kill him! And all of a sudden, Rhino just comes in.
And slams them through the wall, yeah.
Yeah, and then basically...
Well, you know what I liked about that fight scene is that it actually showed Kingpin was actually holding his own against the Rhino.
Right, which is awesome.
Super-powered character, yeah. It's just a dude.
He's like actually super. Not the guy from Amazing Spider-Man 2 that's in the Rhino outfit.
No.
It's the guy from
Paul Giamatti?
Yeah, Paul Giamatti in the Rhino's like Robo outfit.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
I hate that I know that.
Doesn't he have like guns on the suit too? And it doesn't even look like a rhino. It just looks like a big mech. It's like what?
Please.
Oh my god, Paul Giamatti, man,
Disgusting.
the rhino. That's what I'm talking about.
Disgusting. And then, do you know? Okay, so Spider-Man comes in, kicks Rhino's ass. But do you guys know if this is like before or after Jameson's father passes?
This is
away?
probably before.
Okay.
I'd imagine this is
Yeah,
before.
or probably during, honestly.
Or same time, yeah.
Because like Spider-Man's like he's comical, he's happy. I'm like, damn, he got over that death of his stepfather really well.
Yeah, no,
If he's happy, this is probably before then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Do you guys want to write a message into the Spidey offices? We can send them some mail and they'll
Dan
put it in the
Slott.
back of one of the issues.
Dan Slott, what are you doing with this Clone Saga? Stop it.
Does this mean I'm a clone?
Yeah.
Dan Slott, am I a clone? Love clone question mark?
Help me.
Alright, I think we're not wrapping up, but I think we're getting to some point here.
Let's do Doc Street next.
Okay.
Or
Doc
Miss Warner, whichever one you want.
Do you want to skip? Like, you want to just quickly go over it, or you?
Doc Strange or what?
Doctor Strange.
I think we should quickly go over Invincible Iron Man because it wasn't
Okay.
that big of an issue.
Okay. Let's go over that. So, Invincible Iron Man, we see Tony is like trying to cope with being alone, I guess. Like he's secluded himself. He goes to Alcohol Anonymous to basically get over his alcoholism. And then guess what? There's Captain Marvel at the same meeting.
Even though he tried to clearly avoid it at the beginning.
Yeah.
He tried to find a different Alcoholics Anonymous. Like a different, like, you know, just to never, a chance to never run into her. And she does the same thing.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha! How ironic.
Yeah.
How funny that they both, you know, like, that's funny. Guys.
I did like how they brought up that they both were past alcoholics. You know, I thought maybe this new universe is more vanilla. Like, oh, heroes don't have problems like that. There's nothing. You can't be an alcoholic.
Right.
I like how it was brought up, even though they both are recovering alcoholics.
Yeah.
So at least that was some good backstory.
Yeah, it was. And then, then we have the whole bombshell. Like Tony's like, I love you, and this, and that. And then, but
that was weird.
It was. It's like, dude, you're gonna first you cuck Peter. Now you're gonna cuck your friend Rhodey, who just died. Like, come on, dude.
Well, I didn't like talking about the flirting when they're like, "Yeah, I was flirting with you."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then like
because that's not a regular conversation. That never happens.
No, not only that, but
that's
then
how I talk to women. That's
yeah.
And then he's like, but despite my flirty facade, I secretly admired you, and I was intimidated by you.
That whole conversation makes me think of somebody going up to, like, a dude going up to a girl and be like, "Hey, I'm flirting with you. How do you think I'm doing?
Yeah.
How am I doing?"
I'm not talking about flirting. It's terrible.
It's pretty gross. And then he's all like, "Yeah, I'm intimidated by you." Really, Tony Stark intimidated by anyone? Come on.
Look here. It's not even that. It's how are these two talking to each other calmly and face to face?
And they're fighting
after what's already happened. After we watch Hulk get shot in the face by an arrow.
Right.
After we saw Amazing Arachnid kill Captain America on the steps, supposedly.
Right.
Well,
Like,
they even came to blows. They came to blows before that. Like, they should not be
Right.
having casual.
And then I love you, huh?
Like, think about it like this: the original Civil War. Can you picture Captain America and Iron Man?
Dude.
After that
hey,
first
Cap,
fight?
I want you to know,
Yeah.
you're my friend. You're my friend. You're my... No, it's the Super Tropic Thunder. You're my brother.
Exactly. You don't see that. That wasn't.
No.
This isn't realistic.
No. It was not.
Anyway,
Yeah.
how about that end of the issue where Tony's
His
new
mother.
mom,
Yeah, his mother comes in like, I'm his real mother.
Who cares?
and then
Who
apparently
cares?
something has happened to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, so like I guess the whole Alcohol Anonymous meetup was before the actual throwdown with the Shield base, and I guess whatever.
I'm thinking of this alcohol thing happened after the Shield base, and then this meeting with the mother
happened
after Civil War's already over.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Why would you jump so far ahead, though, is the thing.
That's my question.
I don't... It's not like I care about his real mom anyways.
Right.
But the fact that you're still trying to ham-fist it on top of trying to ham-fist some sort of weird anger love that Cap and him are supposed to have, on top of ham-fisting how they're supposed to be friends, and on top of all the murder they've done for each other or against each other.
And they both shared like a loss between each other. Like he lost his best friend, she lost her lover.
Because of each other, basically.
Yeah, it's what?
It's I don't know. It's
not well done, guys.
No, I'm lying to you. Technically, both of those deaths are on her head because Hulk. Oh no,
she witnessed Rhodey's death. Iron Man didn't.
Yeah, but it's her fault that Rhodey was there because of the visions, and then Hulk technically is dead because
she allowed it.
Not even that she allowed it. It's the fact that everybody gathered because of him,
right?
And they all gathered because she was like, "Oh, this is going to be a problem," and Hulk only shows up because she knows. And Iron Man only shows up because she instigated. So it's, I don't know. Captain Marvel is really riding the hate train right now.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know if she's right. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what's bad.
Okay, well, let's get past it. It's a problem, and you deal with it. So let's do Doc Strange then. Let's cover that. So,
all right, I enjoyed this issue. Honestly, I like how they're kind of Strange has been depowered by his previous villain, and basically he's been dealing with the villain of the week without his powers. He's been using his enchanted items instead.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a nice look at Doctor Strange, because he's always been above and beyond all the other heroes, like a lot more powerful. And this is the first time we've seen kind of Strange without... He doesn't have a lot of magic. He's definitely not the powerful reality warper fought in millennia in his Sorcerer War. Now, this is like just a regular guy with magical items right now.
Yeah.
I like that, this is kind of becoming like Constantine levels of like fighting, where he's only using what he's got on his back. Yeah. But I do like that like the monster he fights at the beginning, that's like the cumulative rage of his like pain or his anger or whatever.
Yeah, what they gave it a name. I forgot what it was. Dr. Despair or something?
Let me look back real quick. The Suffering? No.
The Hacking?
I don't know. It's something like that, but you know what I mean. It's just this big monster with so many faces and eyes and stuff, and it's supposed to be like the embodiment of his pain, I guess, physically, and it keeps it in the basement, which is nice.
How it said it was like Monday, and he's dealing with this, and then it's just each day he's dealing with some other shit. Because
Doc Strange, he's got to worry about the 24/7. And when he was Sorcerer Supreme, there was no 24/7. It was 9999999. But now he's just a regular dude. He don't got that easy stuff. So it's actually really interesting to see him handle head on, especially now with the villain that's just showed up.
Mr. Misery.
Mr. Misery.
That's what the guy's name was.
There you go.
Misery.
Yeah.
All right, but I like how they're bringing back Baron Mordo, or Carl, as some other people know.
Carl.
And I like how Strange, like, a lot of people think he's kind of a weak villain, and honestly, Strange has beat him enough that he could be considered a weak villain. But I like how Strange isn't underestimating him, especially now that he doesn't have his magic. He's like, I mean, this guy's still a sorcerer, and he's like a murderer. He's still a threat.
Right.
And we're just seeing, I like how he still has his ties to Dormammu.
Yeah.
And we see that one scene where he takes over a girl. And I thought that was really well done. How he actually has to kill the host, and then her head gets set on flames.
Yeah.
And that's how he communicates with Dormammu.
I do like that because you know how his actual like there's the flames, and then his facial features aren't on the flames. They're like on the outside of the flames, like the whites of like his eyes and stuff.
The stuff that makes up his face.
Yeah. I like how that's not attached to the flames, that it's floating off of it when the girl is talking. I thought that was cool. Yeah, but that was pretty good. It's interesting.
I'm enjoying how they're kind of depicting these villains now. They're making each one look a little bit differently. Like a Nightmare. Nightmare was always just a green dude, just a dude in spandex with a white face. But now at the end of the issue, you see this crazy version of Nightmare, kind of with all these straps. Like his realm is really bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It kind of reminds me of Steve Ditko, honestly. Just kind of really bizarre realms and stuff, and characters.
Yeah. So let's see how it goes. I think Doc Strange has definitely held our attention. It's very interesting. It's always cool to see a character knocked to their knees when they ride so high. It works well sometimes, not all the time. Like that one time in Superman where he lost his powers, and then there was like the whole thing where he was like a Mexican and he was like a pro wrestler. It was the whole thing. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
But I like the part right here where he eats the apple and throws it at him, and a tree captures.
Yeah, because they're all physical.
Mario.
Like all of his magic is physical now. It's all objects.
Yeah.
It's not him casting. It's him using like wands and swords and shit. Like swords.
Yeah. It's cool. I like this direction.
Yeah.
Like you said, Matt, the design for his old villain.
Yeah.
Misery, or not Misery, whatever. Nightmare, there you go.
He's thin, he's gaunt, he's got like the costume's like pale and
missing
torn.
A jaw, looks like.
Yeah, he's like a zombie almost. He's too skinny to be human. Like they're doing a good job of like giving the characters like. If I was thinking of a character named freaking Nightmare, like that's a good way to depict that.
He's my nightmare.
Yeah, but I think we're pretty much done. Except there's two that we need to cover. One we missed, and then Cage.
All right, what's the one we missed?
Aquaman. We missed Aquaman.
We're going all the way back.
Yeah, so we'll do Aquaman at the end. Let's just finish Marvel. We'll do Aquaman. So Cage. Cage was drawn, and I think he was just drawn by Gendy Tartakovsky.
Same guy who did Samurai Jack.
Yeah, the same artist who did Samurai Jack. Yeah. So it's personally, on the way you guys, I was pretty hyped for this. Mm-hmm. Although I know it's just like a little side bit. It's good old fashioned Luke Cage in his old costume. He's got the sick chain belt.
And he's got a fro.
He's got the fro. He doesn't got the beard like the show, but that's fine. So it's all about him just like having a really bad day, pretty much. It starts off with like
that's basically it.
Yeah, it's just like him. Like he solves a few he beats up a few bad guys, stops a few crimes, and then he stuff starts really turning against him. Cyclops shows up, shoots him out a window. He gets beat up, and I don't know. It's all over the place, but it was really interesting for the sole sake that I really love the art style. The guy that does Samurai Jack in comic form, he's done a really good job of giving Luke Cage that cartoony feel.
Yeah,
because we've seen Luke Cage in a lot of different outlets. We've seen Luke Cage serious. We've seen Luke Cage in different realities. We've seen OG Luke Cage where he's in the old costume and he's making the sweet Christmas jokes and stuff like that. And this is that same kind of, they bring back that old Luke Cage, but they give him a fun, funny art style that really gives it,
it's like a throwback to the 70s almost. I like that.
Yeah.
Does he have it kind of reminds me of there's a lot of blaxploitation in this, And it's awesome.
Yeah.
I like all the characters are from the 70s, they have their original designs, and it's just very a fun issue,
It's fun.
Not heavy at all. It's just very
No, I definitely. That's what I liked about it the most. It was just fun, and I
honestly like the ending. The ending was super simple. Just who knocked Luke Cage out? Who could possibly knock Luke Cage out?
Yeah,
that was just the ending.
Yeah, and we've been we just spent the past 2 hours talking about comics and how much we like them and stuff and things like that. And we've been talking about the depth of story and the depth of these characters that they're trying to give us emotions and stuff on. So it's really nice to get to a comic like this that doesn't take a lot of heavy thinking to connect the storyline. You're just here's the hero. And here's a day in the life. It's just
sometimes I wish more comics were just simple, like Luke Cage,
Yeah,
fun. Don't overthink it. Honestly.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Just write the character the way he was, and then let the artists do their jobs.
That's it.
And you know what? I had a good time, and that's why I'm putting Cage #1 as my number one of the week. Number one. So to wrap it up, we're coming to the end of a long 2-hour session here. Mm-hmm. But to wrap it up, let's get back to the one we missed, Aquaman. Because there was actually something interesting I wanted to ask Matt about. Because I did not... Did you read it, Matt?
Yeah. I read it earlier this week. I haven't actually looked at it since.
Okay.
Just let me know and I'll see if I can
Yeah, because it's basically Aquaman dealing with his kind of the political descent of Atlantis right now. He's kind of dealing with a lot of the hierarchy and stuff, while Black Manta is kind of building an army basically.
He's using the resources of Nemo basically.
Yeah, to build an army. So it was actually really interesting to watch. But on top of that, who was that character at the end, Matt? The one that comes out of the bottom of the ocean, that's carving its way through the bottom of the ocean.
Let me pick it up real quick and let me check. Is it not the giant seaweed monster, right?
Yes, the giant seaweed monster.
Oh, okay. Well, I as of right now, I'm not sure. Neptune's balls. I honestly don't know who this character is. He probably can be an older character, because I see they're kind of taking a lot of this stuff from older Aquaman comics, a lot of the side characters.
Yeah, do you know what the name of the character is, or not? No.
As of right now, no. through it right now, just seeing if I can pick up on something. But apparently, I'm reading about this little side story with Mira, however you pronounce it, Aquaman's wife, and these priestesses.
And how they're not allowing them to get married or something like that.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It's interesting to see, because the thing is, yet again, like going back from the Cage thing, is that we're getting a lot of heavy, like social and political questions that come up with some of these, are like mental, like just philosophical questions.
Yeah.
So it's, with
so here we're delving into like the politics of Atlantis.
Yeah, the politics of Atlantis and the kind of like the hierarchy of Atlantis. Because in this past Aquaman run, we're just seeing how there's there's the hierarchy of like the kingdom of Atlantis, and then there's like the bottom feeders of Atlantis, like the people that live on like the streets, air quotes, of Atlantis. You know what I mean? So we're seeing they're definitely.
Oh, the Shaggy Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You gotta. Do you guys remember? I'm trying to think of something. You remember Justice League Unlimited?
Yeah.
General Eiling.
Yes.
Okay. He at one point he is inside the Shaggy Man body.
Oh. Okay.
Like that whole episode where he fights like Vigilante, Shining Knight, Stargirl, and he's in that body. That's kind of like a take on the Shaggy Man.
Oh. Okay. So.
Yeah, Shaggy Man's like this super powerful like creature that was created by I don't know if they made a new origin for him. I think he was made by Professor Ivo or someone.
Really? By the guy that did made
Red Tornado? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Or Amazo, right?
Amazo, yeah. Because Professor Ivo made Amazo. I remember that in the But then he died.
Yeah. I think his new 52 origin is he was made by Professor Ivo. I'm not sure honestly with this new universe and whatnot.
Yeah, but
yeah, he's an older character. He's been around for a while. I think
it's good to know that they're bringing back some old good old fashions. Now let's see Amazo from the show come back. The golden Amazo.
Golden Amazo was great.
Yeah. But
honestly, I actually did like the Young Justice version of Amazo. You remember him?
Is that the one with the he kind of looks like the one from the cartoon, like the cave, like he's kind of just like a caveman, or am I thinking of someone else?
No.
Let me look it up.
Remember the Young Justice fights him? They fight him, and he kind of looks like a human.
I'm gonna get it right now. Just give me a sec.
I'm trying to find the picture. I typed in Amazo, and first thing that came up is Amazon. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Not even surprised. It's like he has his original look,
Like yeah. So he kind of looks like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Namor.
Yeah.
Namor.
Yeah.
Okay. What about never mind. I'm going crazy.
No, because in Young Justice he kind of looks like Namor, like his design.
Okay.
But I like the Justice League show design where he's like gold, where he has he's just like featureless except he's buff, like he's just like a silver outline of a robot, basically, just like a Amazo Justice League. You'll see.
Amazo Justice League.
Yeah, because
he has good eyes.
He doesn't have any features. Like, you see what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the way he looks. But
he reminds me. This is a stupid reference, but Super Smash Brothers, the Mega Man stage.
Oh, he looks like the Yellow Devil. He looks like Yellow Devil.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are we good on this?
I think that's just about it. I think we've covered everything. And
some last minute things. For those of you that are listening, Luke Cage, the newest Marvel Netflix series, is out. I suggest you guys go watch it. It's really good. I enjoyed it. We're probably going to be talking about it in like a week or two once we're all finished with the series. And the Iron Fist trailer just came out for the Netflix series, and
it looks good.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, the fighting looks good. The actual Iron Fist itself, interesting take on it.
Yes.
So something to keep a lookout for.
Yeah. So don't forget, John Wick 2 trailer came out. You gotta watch that.
It's not comic related.
Watch it anyway.
I had to slip it in.
Bro, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So watch Luke Cage, guys.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it.
And we'll come together. We'll come together soon and talk about it.
Yes,
just you, me, and the boys.
Damn.
Just us. You, me, and Adam Sandler.
You, me,
Whoa.
and
so.
What about Nick Cage?
Dude,
right,
Nick Cage.
Let's cut it off right here.
I think that's about it. So.
Okay, guys.
Yep. Everybody, thanks for listening.
Stay tuned for future podcasts from Weird Future. Thank you for listening. We love you.
And we'll see you soon.
Have a good day.